Hello, it's Trevor Cutmore and welcome to Monday's video. So this week I've decided to talk about a subject which isn't the best for property investing, but probably one of the most important. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's about not being scammed. Now, unfortunately, there are many people in the property world who, for whatever reason, they think it's fair game to go after people who have worked hard all their lives, who have saved a pot for their retirement. They buy into a dream. So very much, look, we all want that. We all want to have something that's bigger, brighter and better for us. And for our families, we want to leave a legacy for our children as well. So look, this is something that is human nature. We want to leave something which is better and make the world better for us being a footprint on this world. So look, I get that. And when we listen to genuine people, and we're going to be talking a little bit about con people, con men and women. And the reality is that many of you who know me personally will know that, I want to be as good as my word. Integrity is something that I chase after on a daily basis. And I don't think anyone ever arrives there. But, what turns a person of someone who's been going on their journey and then suddenly they find it is, they can appease themselves morally that they can take your money and scam you and basically, well, whether it's a scam or not, but they lose your money or they take your money and they basically not interested to help or even communicate. All right, this has happened to me personally. So there's a builder. His name is Nick Bailey. If you ever see him, please tell me where he is, because I lent him a considerable amount of money and he promised that back to me, only to run off eventually when it was due. Actually left his house. His wife and daughter would come, all of them would come to my house, we would stay with them. And so, a real friend. And yet I didn't look in, because of that friendship, I made a catastrophic mistake. I didn't look into his finances when I lent him the money. And so, I never make that mistake again. But, this is what happens to people. Now, there's the reason for this video is that last week there was a lady that has risen up on Facebook. If you search, I'm sure you'll find her. She has been promising deals for people and the dream. So you invest £30,000 into this venture and you're going to make X, Y, and Z. You're going to double your money, whatever she's saying that this is what you're going to get. So that's something which is, selling a dream. People are, they go towards the shiny penny, whatever it is. And that's of course of interest. Now, con people are people who will grow trust with you very, very quickly. So, they will be as good, if not better than me, in the way that they connect with you. So you must be wary. You must have your guard up at all times, especially when you're dealing with money, when you're passing money over. And I am shocked at how people can pass money through hands very quickly. And I'm shocked with the contracts that they allow. They allow the investor to draw it up. It probably won't hold up in court at all. So you've got to become more aware, and that's what this video is about. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But look, being scammed is not fun. It can destroy lives. It can destroy marriages, families. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen how it can put so much stress, especially when people have saved, like I said, £30,000 that this lady is taking on a regular basis from people. It's disgusting. And so she is being outed now on Facebook and around social media. So I think that this will stop now. It would be wrong for me to start shouting out names and things, but you've got to watch out for these people. And it's rife. It is rife. So look, I had an investor come to me, and I had one actually come this week, said, Trevor, I trust you implicitly, I want to do business with you. I had another investor come to me and said, Trevor, I want to invest with you, I've got this money. She'd already paid me for some mentorship and some training. This is years ago now, a few years back. And she said to me, look, I really like you, I want to put this money and invest with you. And I got home and I opened up for whatever reason, I opened up my bank account, and there was a lot of money transferred straight in. And I phoned her straight away. I said, what have you done? She said, yeah, no, I put the money in there. And we're talking, a lot of money. And I said, no, you can't do that. I said, purely for money laundering, anti-money laundering purposes, I've now received funds which I have no evidence of where that's come from or where those proceeds have been gained from. So, but she said, well, I trust you, Trevor. Nothing to do about trust. So it doesn't matter how much you trust people. Let's take it to what you should be doing. Okay, what should you do when someone approaches you and it sounds like a fantastic thing? Now, as I said, I've been scammed not just with that one. I was scammed with buying properties down in Cornwall. They sounded too good to be true. Guaranteed buyback after 3 years, making £25,000 each. Guaranteed rent for 3 years. Sounds like a no-brainer. It was too good to be true, an absolute scam, and very expensive as well. A lot of people went bust by having those. But to be honest, you turn a bad thing into a good thing and it can make you stronger and much better. But I don't want you going through that pain. So what should you do? Okay, easy. Get your notepad. This is what you need to do. So when you meet people and it's all very, very nice, you need their home address and you need to check that home address. You need a copy of their passport. You need their national insurance number, their home telephone number. If possible, I would go and visit them at their home. I'm quite serious. Get to see where they live, get to see what they're doing. The next thing, you need to get written consent for you to follow out any anti-money laundering checks, and you give that to your mortgage broker for a fee of around about £25. He or she will go and check that individual or that company, whoever they're going to be, and they're going to check any anti-money laundering, AML checks, credit checks, and other checks. These are imperative for you to get those done. So many people don't even think about it, and yet they hand over their money. The next thing, look, how are you securing that money? Where is the security? PGs, okay. Personal guarantees are okay, but providing that individual hasn't written out 50 personal guarantees. If they're sitting on £100,000 of equity and they've signed out 50, £30,000 personal guarantees, it's not worth the paper it's written on. So, where are you going to secure it? Now, I understand that securing funds as a second charge onto property isn't the easiest things to do, but you need to consider this. You need to get a list of the individuals or the company's assets and ensure that. So they may provide you with that. Again, if you ask your broker to go further and to look and to check those assets actually are owned by them, they can look at how much is the mortgage, they can look at if they're paying, etc. So, make sure there's no missed payments, there's no bad credit. This is invaluable for you to not make a mistake and not get scammed. I'm deadly serious. I think this is one of the most important videos I've ever made because it can save so much pain, not just for you. Please share this around and tell people. It isn't about me getting out there. It's to help people not get scammed. All right. I've spoken to a couple of friends about this morning and about what are the things that you should do. So very much what I'm talking about is through my conversations with them and obviously what I know myself. I think a friend of mine, Jackie, as we were speaking this morning, she said, Trevor, a lot of people trust branding, but they forget to look at the individual. And I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was a real precious one, because what she was saying is that there can be a lot of people go through training with companies and they say, oh, I'm with this company, look at me. And you have a trust in that company and you associate with them. By association, you tend to not go forward with the right checks. But please take a word of wisdom from me. Do your checks on every single person, whether they have a reputation, whether they don't have a reputation, whether it's friends, in some cases family as well. Just do the checks. If you are dealing with cash and going either way, you need to be doing your anti-money laundering checks anyway, so that's a given. And if they're not going to sign consent for you to do these checks on them, then there's a red flag and you need to tell other people. Okay, I think that's that's some of the most important information I've given out on my YouTube channel. Remember, people are buying a dream in property. You know, people want to get property. Look, I always call it as it is. I know a lot of people, and when I do my training, it is not the easiest thing, property. It's not. When we do HMOs, they're great. Yes, of course they're good. They get maximum cash flow and service accommodation, but it comes with effort. It comes with pain, because time, you'll get disappointments. No one talks about the maintenance, the voids, and etc., etc. You know, I know a lot of people doing joint ventures all over the country. I do joint ventures. I have people come and invest with me, and I do very well. I work hard to produce what I say, whether that's building houses, whether that's doing flips with people, or buying, refurbing, refinance and rent them. But I want them to be happy. Now, if the individual that you thinking to invest with is not giving you their time to see what you want and see what you want to achieve, don't just take any dribble. You need to see it. Another thing, my final bit of advice, go and speak to people who have already done it with that person. So look, supposing this lady I'm talking about, £30,000, you have to be careful here, because they might turn around and say, oh yes, I've got someone. And if they've got a friend, they can get on the phone and easily say, oh yes, I've done it, it's absolutely superb. I think that's what happened when I bought those houses down in Cornwall. I think there was a complete scam, and that was really, really bad. So whoever it is, you know, meet them face to face, and when they're there, say, can I see your bank statement where you can show me where you sent that money across? So speak, you know, straight. And if they cannot do it, say, well, look, I'm sorry, unless I see bank statements going back over the last 12 months or 2 years showing me where you've done it with them, I can't move forward. Okay? So listen, please make a comment if you've enjoyed this video. I know it's not the best and the most dynamic, but I think it's one of the most important, because it's going to help you save money and pain. So be aware, take your time. Do not be pressured and into parting with your money quickly, because look, the time thing. Let me give it last bit of advice. Last bit. I'm in property. I know how sales works. I know how to negotiate, and I promise you, when you are training and you learn these things, time is a very, very key tool. So what people do, they say, listen, there's this thing here, I've got other people who want to get in, however I'm going to give you this chance, but we have to do it now. I've got contracts drawn up because we haven't got time to go through it properly, but obviously you're getting to know me, you trust me, you sign that, put the money over, let's get on, because I don't want to lose it. I want to give you this opportunity because someone else is going to get it. Do you see how it works? With time, you back off, you have your contracts done properly through solicitors, all of that done properly. Okay, do not cut corners, otherwise it's not for you. And be careful of the big shiny penny. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Listen guys, I hope you enjoyed it. It was something dear to my heart to help you, especially in the light of this lady last week. I hate seeing this, when people rip people off with money and destroy lives. It is disgusting. I have no time for them whatsoever. I will not be associated with them. She was actually a friend of my Facebook, and I took her off straight away. So be wary, be wise. And if I can help you with anything, especially if we want any training, which I do with Leslie Tower at Cashflow Freedom, we run it out of Cambridge, please contact me. I'll leave my email below, and I wish you a wonderful week. Bless you. Bye bye.